Marriage is one of humanity's oldest institutions. Across Africa, it is far more than the union of two people. It is the joining of families, communities, ancestors, traditions, and sometimes entire kingdoms. For thousands of years, African societies have preserved their values through stories told around evening fires, beneath giant baobab trees, and during wedding celebrations that could last for days. Some of these tales are romantic. Some are cautionary. Some are humorous. And others reveal profound wisdom about loyalty, respect, patience, and love. Today, we journey across Africa to explore remarkable tales that arose from marriage traditions. These stories have been passed down through generations, teaching lessons that remain relevant even in the modern world. Welcome to African Tales arising from marriage traditions in Africa. Long ago, according to a tale told in parts of West Africa, there lived a beautiful maiden named Amina. Her beauty became famous across neighboring villages. Many young men came seeking her hand in marriage. A hunter offered her ivory. A trader offered her gold. A chief's son offered her cattle. But Amina rejected them all. She believed no earthly man was worthy of her. Every night she gazed at the moon and whispered, "Amina, only one as beautiful as you deserves my love." One evening, an old stranger appeared. He wore shining white robes and carried a silver staff. The stranger said, "Stranger, the moon has heard your words. He wishes to marry you." Amina was overjoyed. Without consulting her parents or elders, she followed the stranger into the night. They traveled far beyond the village. Soon the roads disappeared. The trees grew strange. The air became cold. Then the stranger revealed his true identity. He was not a messenger of the moon. He was a spirit who preyed upon pride. Amina realized too late that she had abandoned wisdom for vanity. After many hardships, she returned home. She apologized to her parents and the elders. Years later she married a humble farmer known for kindness rather than appearance. The tale teaches that marriage should be built on character, not fantasy. Beauty fades. Goodness endures. In many African traditions, the tortoise appears as a clever but troublesome character. One famous marriage tale tells of a tortoise who desired the grandest wedding feast ever seen. When word spread that birds were attending a magnificent wedding in the sky, the tortoise became determined to join them. The birds laughed. "Birds, you have no wings." But the tortoise was clever. He convinced every bird to lend him a feather. Soon he had wings of many colors. Before they left, he suggested everyone adopt special names for the ceremony. The birds agreed. The tortoise chose the name, All of You. At the wedding feast, hosts announced, "Host, this feast is prepared for all of you." Immediately the tortoise stepped forward. "Tortoise. Exactly. My name is All of You. Therefore the feast belongs to me." He ate nearly everything. The birds were furious. When it was time to return home, they took back their feathers. The tortoise fell from the sky. Although he survived, his shell cracked. According to some versions of the tale, that is why tortoise shells are rough and patterned today. The lesson? Marriage celebrations should never become opportunities for greed and selfishness. Community and generosity matter more than personal gain. In East Africa, storytellers often share variations of a tale about a chief's daughter and a poor drummer. A chief had one daughter. Princess Naya was admired by many wealthy suitors. Her father expected her to marry a prince. Yet Naya fell in love with Kato, a poor village drummer. The chief was outraged. "Chief, what can a drummer provide for my daughter?" Determined to separate them, he created impossible marriage conditions. Kato had to cross dangerous rivers, retrieve a sacred flower, bring wisdom from distant lands. Everyone expected him to fail. But along the journey, Kato helped strangers. He rescued an elderly woman. He shared food with travelers. He aided a wounded hunter. Years later, those same people returned the kindness. Each provided help when he needed it most. Eventually he completed every challenge. The chief was astonished. He realized true wealth was not cattle, gold, or titles. It was character. Naya and Cato married. Their wedding became a symbol of love strengthened by virtue and perseverance. Among various African communities are tales emphasizing loyalty within marriage. One such story tells of a woman named Zuri. She loved her husband deeply but worried that he valued possessions more than people. One day she disguised herself as a poor traveler. She approached her own home while her husband was away. When he returned, she asked for shelter. The husband hesitated. Food was scarce. Resources were limited. Yet he welcomed the stranger. He shared his meal. He offered a place to sleep. He treated her with dignity. The next morning, Zuri revealed her identity. Her husband was shocked. Zuri, I wish to know whether your kindness depended on wealth or appearance. The husband smiled. Husband, a person is a person before they are anything else. Their marriage grew stronger because trust was confirmed through action. The tale teaches that compassion forms the foundation of lasting unions. Animal stories often reflect human customs. One popular tale tells of the Lion King seeking a husband for his daughter. Animals from every corner of the kingdom arrived. The elephant boasted of strength. The leopard boasted of speed. The buffalo boasted of endurance. Each tried to impress the princess. Yet the princess remained unimpressed. Then came the humble hare. Instead of boasting, he listened. Instead of speaking about himself, he asked questions. He treated everyone with respect. Eventually the princess chose him. The kingdom was shocked. The lion explained, Lion King, a marriage cannot survive on pride. It survives on understanding. The tale highlights emotional intelligence long before modern psychology gave it a name. Bride wealth, often misunderstood outside Africa, traditionally symbolized appreciation and the joining of families rather than purchasing a bride. A famous folk tale illustrates this point. A wealthy merchant sought to marry a wise young woman. He arrived with enormous gifts. Cattle. Jewelry. Fine fabrics. The woman's father thanked him but declined. Confused, the merchant asked why. The father replied, Father, you have brought wealth but not understanding. The merchant spent months learning community values. He listened to elders. He learned patience. He served the village. When he returned, he brought fewer gifts but far greater humility. This time the father agreed. The story teaches that marriage requires maturity, not merely material wealth. In southern Africa, stories often connect marriage to nature. One tale tells of two lovers who met beneath a giant baobab tree. Before marriage they made a promise. Whenever disagreements arose, they would return to the tree before making major decisions. Years passed. Drought came. Money became scarce. Children created new responsibilities. Challenges tested their relationship. Yet they always returned to the baobab. There they listened rather than argued. They remembered their commitment. Their marriage endured for decades. The baobab became a symbol of patience and communication. A lesson still echoed by relationship counselors today. Many African cultures emphasize ancestral blessings during marriage ceremonies. A powerful tale tells of a couple who ignored tradition. Believing old customs unnecessary, they refused to seek blessings from elders. Soon misunderstandings emerged. Arguments increased. The community became divided. An elderly grandmother visited. She explained that ancestral blessings were not magical rituals. They represented wisdom, guidance, and community support. The couple reconciled with their families. Relationships improved. Peace returned. The tale reminds us that marriages thrive when supported by broader communities. A skilled weaver dreamed of marrying a princess. People mocked him. How could a common craftsman win royal approval? Instead of complaining, he devoted himself to mastery. Every fabric he created told a story. One cloth represented courage. Another represented patience. Another represented unity. Eventually the king saw his work. The princess admired both his talent and dedication. Their marriage became legendary. The lesson is simple: great relationships are woven like cloth. Thread by thread. Day by day. Choice by choice. Africa is home to thousands of ethnic groups, languages, and traditions. Yet across this immense diversity, marriage stories often share common themes. They teach that character matters more than appearance. Kindness outweighs wealth. Humility surpasses pride. Patience strengthens love. Community supports lasting unions. Wisdom is more valuable than riches. These tales were never merely entertainment. They were lessons. Guides. Living libraries passed from one generation to the next. And though centuries may separate us from the storytellers who first shared them, their messages continue to resonate. Because while wedding customs may change, the values that sustain healthy relationships remain timeless. Which of these African marriage tales inspired you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey through African folklore and traditions, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories from Africa and around the world. Thank you for watching. And until next time, keep the stories alive.